Okay, we are joined by Coach Dana Altman from the University of Oregon, and we'll ask the coach to make an opening statement, and then we'll take questions. Coach?
Well, first of all, we're very excited to be here. Team's excited, coaching staff. I think our fan base is excited to be in the Sweet 16, and got a tremendous challenge ahead of us with Louisville, a very good basketball team, very well coached, and looking for the challenge tomorrow night at 7:15.
Okay, if you would raise your hand, we'll get a microphone to you, and just please give us your name and your affiliation right here in the front.
Okay. Coach, could you tell us a little bit about how Arsalan came to you and how he's fit in and what kind of a teammate he's been?
Well, Arsalan came to us very late. We're on the quarter system, and we don't start school until late September, and he joined us in late September. He's meant a great deal to our team. Obviously, the rebounding has been outstanding for him. He's really made us a good rebounding team. But his unselfishness and his maturity, I think, has helped our young basketball team also. We've got 6 freshmen on the team, and I think his maturity and leadership, especially late in the season, has helped us.
Right here in front. And please give us your name and your affiliation.
Tim Sullivan, Louisville Courier Journal. Coach, the Cardinals' last 2 tournament opponents have had season highs and turnovers. Your team has turned the ball over more than any team that's still in the tournament. What precautions do you have to take against their defense?
We've got to do a better job of handling the ball against them because they are quick. They do extend their pressure. They do a great job of changing it up. We're not in 3 or 4 days going to change the way we've played all season. We've got to try to clean it up a little bit, but we're going to make mistakes. We just got to play through those mistakes. We've been able to overcome our turnovers in most situations. We really had a good handle on it in January when we were probably playing our best basketball. We had a real bad February where we continued to turn it over. We had 2 games in the NCAA tournament where we turned it over 18 times each night. So that's going to have to, we just got to figure out what that number is that we can live with. I'm hoping 15, 16 is a number we can hold it to. But we're going to make mistakes. I told the guys that. We just got to play through them. And Louisville does a great job of multiplying those mistakes into a number of baskets, and we've got to do a great job of just trying to keep that number down to a manageable figure.
Go right here, and then we'll go back to back.
Spencer Grosvenor, CBS Sports, 1430 Indianapolis. This being your first NCAA appearance for Oregon with your 3 years in head coaching for the school, what has made this run more significant than once you started with the program?
This team, I think is excited. EJ is the only one, who's been there 4 years, so it's really special for him. Johnny Lloyd and a couple other guys, 3 years, but this is a team that we're still trying to get the equation right at the University of Oregon. We're trying to figure out what it takes to compete in the Pac-12 and on a national level. We've had some hits and some misses, but for the most part, this is a team that has been put together to, to try to make us relevant, to try to get us back in the hunt. And, the guys have done that. We'd like to, continue to build our base and have a core group of guys that we can really build for the future around. And I think we've done that, especially with a few of our freshmen. But it is a work in progress, and we've still got a lot of work to do.
Right back here in the back.
Hey, Coach, Luke DeCock from the Raleigh News and Observer. Obviously, you've had a distinguished career, but you're here with 3 coaches who have won, I think, 6 national titles combined. What's it like as a coach to be here with those 3 guys, with Izzo and Krzyzewski and Pitino?
It's exciting. I, made a number of comments about it. Those 3 guys have unbelievable careers, and they're all going to be Hall of Fame coaches. it's something that, you know, those guys have accomplished what I think a lot of younger coaches would love to accomplish. And they've done it in a way that everybody in the profession has great respect for them. So, you know, it is exciting, but fortunately it's our team going out there, and our team will compete at a very high level and do a great job. All three of those programs, because of their coaches, have, you know, great records, great traditions. We're trying to build a tradition. You know, we're trying to build something that consistently competes year in, year out, and that's a big challenge for us.
Right here, Dan.
Dana O'Neill with ESPN.com. Dana, a lot's been made about, you know, the seed coming in for this team. Are you guys still riding an underdog sort of mentality, or especially in the group that you're pitted with here?
Dana, I don't think so. I think that you know, we tried not to overemphasize that in the first phase of the tournament. You know, we just said this is a 4-team tournament with Oklahoma State, ourselves, St. Louis U, and New Mexico State. If I would have told you, you know, take away the numbers, this is a 4-team tournament for us to get to the Sweet 16, you know, you guys would take that. We'll take that. And, you know, our guys blocked that out, and I think focused on Oklahoma State, our first round opponent, and did a great job of getting ready for that game. So I don't think too much was made about it in the locker room. More was made about it in the press. Right now, we just know we're playing a very talented team, and one that if we don't stay focused for 40 minutes, you know, they have a tendency to blow teams away. You know, their last 12 games since that 5 overtime loss to Notre Dame, you know, the stats on those games are just unbelievable. They've only had one game closer than 10 points, and that was a 5-point win at Syracuse. Their average, you know, victory has been 18, close to 18. So they've had an unbelievable 12-game stretch here. We better focus on that, and you know, if we do that, then we'll have a chance.
Go right here, and then we'll come over this way.
Nancy Armour with the Associated Press. Dan over here. 2 questions following up on the defense. You said you can't change the way that you play in a matter of days, but how do you prepare for this press? How, you know, is there any way to even somewhat simulate it? And who of past opponents does Louisville remind you of, if anybody?
To answer the second part, no one on our schedule this year plays like they do. You know, so that we haven't had any games to really get a look at this. Secondly, you know, we've made the comparison that it's almost the same situation that our football team runs into when teams are trying to get ready for them. They play so much faster, and their team speed is different. You know, I don't think teams can really get ready for our football team. I've watched that the last 3 years, and I don't think we can prepare for the speed of Louisville, their quickness, their guard quickness, their overall team speed, and the different looks they throw at you. You know, Rick does just a great job of changing it up. One time they'll have a guy on the ball, one time they won't. You know, they'll face guard you one time. They just give you so many different looks to try to keep you off balance that presents a lot of challenges. You've got to stay focused for 40 minutes. They beat people up mentally as much as physically, because if you're not focused and you make a mistake, they get those runs that they just turn a game around. So, you know, staying focused for 40 minutes is going to be pretty tough, and our freshman guards at times haven't done a great job of that. Our overall team hasn't done a great job of that. So that's a real big challenge for us tomorrow night.
And you're right here.
Dana, Zach Schoenbrunn with the New York Times. Was it tough to envision, you know, this type of success at Oregon when you came in a couple of years ago? And what did you and your staff need to do to kind of get the ball rolling?
It really wasn't. When you look at all the successful programs that we have on campus, you know, our president, our athletic administration, Rob Mullins, they're committed to having quality programs, and they give you the opportunity, the resources to do that. And so when we came 3 years ago, you know, we didn't know how long it would take, especially sitting there with 6 guys on the roster. it was maybe hard to envision that we were going to turn it very quickly. But I've got a great staff that works awfully hard. We're very fortunate, that EJ decided to stay and we had somebody to build around. Very fortunate that we got Tony Woods and Arsalan and some guys to come in and help us right away. And then our freshman class, as I mentioned, I think has some players in it that will give us a core group to build around in the future. But it wasn't a surprise. I think the expectations when you go to the University of Oregon are to try to compete, and that the administration will give you the resources to try to compete. And I'm just fortunate that we got the group of guys together that we did, because they're coachable, they work together, they're unselfish, and that has given us an opportunity to get better quickly.
Right here.
Kyle Tucker, Courier Journal. You mentioned Tony. He very easily could have been sitting in Louisville's locker room right now. And would you be sitting up here if he was?
Nope. It's Tony Woods is giving us a presence inside, and I think, to get this level, you got to have a presence inside. And he didn't play particularly well in the first 2 round games. He got in foul trouble in both of them. But we wouldn't have been in the tournament if he wouldn't have got us there. So, we're fortunate, as I mentioned, EJ Singler, Arsalan, you name any one of our starters, and Carlos Emery, our top 6, and Johnny. Any one of those guys, we're a team. You look at our stats, we've got a bunch of guys averaging right around 10 points. We're a team, and you take any one of those parts away from our team, collectively we're okay, but individually we need each other, and Tony's a big part of that.
This is the last question for Coach Altman.
Dana, Pat Forty from Yahoo Sports. You turned down, I think, several chances probably to leave Creighton before you did. What was the appeal of Oregon, I guess beyond what you said about the commitment to winning, but then what did you need to bring in to make Oregon better?
Pat, I'm not sure, why I decided to leave at the time I did. Probably a lot of it, my family was grown. My wife and I are both from Nebraska, so it was always really hard to leave Creighton with our families there, and I was treated so well. Bruce Rasmussen, the AD, the president, everybody, and they're committed to winning at Creighton, and so it was really tough to leave a great situation, but I just felt like if I was going to make a change, I was in my 50s, it was time to make a change. I'd taken the Arkansas job for a day, but felt like this was the right time to make a move. And fortunately, the people at Oregon have been really good to us. I've been in every situation that I've been fortunate to coach. The people have been great to us, and Kansas State, Creighton, Marshall. We're just very fortunate, and the people in Oregon have been unbelievable. The staff, everyone on campus, the state, our fan base, been really good the last 3 years. So, those things have all enabled us, to put things together quickly. Got a great staff, as I mentioned, and it was just a matter of getting the right group of guys together, Pat. But, the decision to move was a tough one, but, it's worked out great for Creighton. And it's worked out okay for us, and hopefully it'll get better for us at Oregon.
Thank you, Coach, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Thanks.